Hello, my name is Dr. Young. Welcome to College Success, or Education 099. This class is specifically designed to assist you in gaining the information that you need to be successful in college. We'll do this by looking at 4 large topics: prepare, organize, monitor, and evaluate. Both organize and monitor have several modules. Prepare is only one module. Evaluate is also one module. Prepare may be short, but it also may be the most important. What you do in preparation for your college education will impact everything else you do. So let's get started and look at prepare. Prepare has 4 principal components. Why do you come to college? How do you learn? Goal setting, and getting what you need to get started. So why do you come to college? Well, first you come for yourself, to make your career aspirations come true, to meet new people, to challenge yourself by learning and doing new things, to expand your horizons, to define and achieve your purpose. And let's not forget, you come to college to have a good time. You also come to college for your family. You may feel a little pressure from your family of origin to get an education and achieve beyond their present status. You may feel pressure from your family to get an education, to earn a living wage, and to have a good career. You may feel some pressure from yourself to provide for your future family. So there's a lot of input in who is interested in your college education. You also come to college for your future. Here's an interesting fact. There's a positive correlation between the amount of income you make and attending college. In case you haven't figured it out, people who go to college make more money. In just a moment, I'm going to introduce you to the Occupational Outlook Handbook, then have you take a look at your possible career choices. The fastest growing job fields are in healthcare, technology, and service industries, and many of these require just a 2-year degree. Now here's another interesting fact that you might not have considered. People who go to college live 2 years longer on average than those who don't go to college. So get started now in making your life longer and better. If you take a moment and look at this slide that we have, the top 10 growing career fields is listed in the Occupational Outlook Handbook. And on the right-hand side, the degree available at BIPSI that you could get in 2 years or less. As you can see, you can get many of the top growing career fields here at a 2-year institution that prepare you for the world of work. So I want you to take a look for yourself. You can open another screen, pause this video, and take a look at the Occupational Outlook Handbook. The link is there on your PowerPoint slides. This is an online database supported by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. In the upper right-hand corner of your screen, from the Occupational Outlook Handbook, you can see a search box that says search bls.gov. Insert any career there that you might be interested and learn all about it. Here's a few things that you can look for. How much you might earn on average, the educational requirements and working conditions of that particular career, and most importantly, the projected growth rate of that career field. You can find out whether the career that you're looking for is one that's growing or perhaps on the decline. So I want you to take just a moment before we continue and think, why are you coming to college? Perhaps jot a few notes down so that you can look back on these as we go forward through the slides. An important aspect of coming to college is learning more about how you learn. We call these learning styles. Learning styles are your preferred means of learning. This is how you acquire, process, and retain information. Knowing your learning style will help you study better, adapt to different styles of teaching, and to learn to accept your own preferences. A few examples of learning styles are visual. You learn best by seeing things. If you're someone who likes to read a lot, it might be that you're a visual learner. Auditory, you learn best when you hear things. It may be that you can listen to podcasts or a lecture and get all the information that you need. You might also be a kinesthetic learner. A kinesthetic learner is someone who learns best by doing things. Now, not any one of these is predictive of success. Students with any learning style can be successful. And I would also share with you that most people use a combination of one or more of the learning styles rather than depending only on one. What's important is learning what your style is. Knowledge about how you learn best will help you in each class because you'll be aware of the adjustments you might need to make. Now, you can take a learning inventory which will alert you to your learning style, and I've provided you a link at the bottom of this PowerPoint slide. Or you can spend a few minutes thinking about how you best gather and keep information. Here are some things to think about. Does reading a book reveal to you everything, or would you prefer an explanation before or after you've read? Do you need to hear the information? If you listen to a podcast, can you then quote back parts of it? It might be that you're an auditory learner. Would actually doing something with the information be more helpful? For example, if you were in a geometry class discussing different angles and tangents, would it be better for you to actually have those materials in your hand working with them, or to read them from a book or hear them from a lecture? So these are some things for you to consider in your learning styles. Now, once you know how you learn, the next thing we need to work on is setting some goals. Getting started in college can be daunting. It is overwhelming. We're going to ask you a lot of questions that you might not have considered previously. Now, you can help us help you by taking the right steps in the right direction. So, once you take a second, maybe look back at your statement in why are you coming to college? What goals could you set by using your answers to that question? Well, I bet every one of you could probably say, I'd like to graduate from college. Well, that's certainly a good goal, and it's kind of a long way off, but it is a good goal to set. Goals are the ends toward which you direct your effort and energy. You probably have a few goals in mind. Goals are important in college because they help motivate you to go to work and work in class, to attend class, which is very important, and to prepare for your exams. Let me share with you a few characteristics that goals need to have. Goals should be self-chosen. That means they need to be your goals, not your friends' goals, not even your parents' goals, but goals that you decided on. Goals should be challenging. It's not a good thing to set a goal for something you can already do. Set a goal for something that you have to work towards. Goals should be realistic. It would be completely unrealistic to say that I want to take 9 different classes in the same semester. You can give it a shot, but it's unrealistic. Goals should be measurable. There should be a way for you to look at the end result and say, this is what I expect to happen. How will I measure that this goal is completed? Goals should be specific. Don't set a goal that says, I want a degree. A goal should be, I want to receive an Associate of Arts in General Studies. That's specific. Goals should be finite. They should have a time limit on them. For example, say that by the end of a fall semester, you want to have completed 18 hours towards your degree. That's a finite goal. Finally, goals should be positive. Don't state them in the negative. It's better to state them in the positive, knowing that you will be able to achieve those goals. Goals also have several different varieties. They're long and short-term goals. Short-term goals are goals for the end of the day, the week, maybe even the month. Long-term goals are more distant goals, maybe for the end of the semester, end of the year, maybe off into the future. You also set academic, study, and personal goals. Academic goals relate to coursework. These include things like going to class, completing your assignments, preparing papers, and preparing for exams. Study goals are what you want to achieve during a certain study or work period. Now, I want to tell you these are some of the hardest goals to make. Finally, there are personal goals. college does involve a lot of personal activities, so things you need to set goals for are making new friends, perhaps exercising, joining organizations, both those that are fun and those that are professional organizations, perhaps even setting a personal goal about getting your laundry done, which can be a big goal to work towards. Now let me help you get off to a good start in your goal setting. First of all, the first 3 weeks of college are usually the easiest, but they're also the hardest. Typically, there are no exams or papers due in the first 3 weeks, so set your goals now. Start with these. Attend all classes. Take notes. Set study times and keep them. Read all assigned materials. Seek help if you feel like you're falling behind. And when you're seeking help, don't settle for talking to your classmates. Use tutors, teachers, and the assistance centers. These are the experts that will be able to help you get your goals. Now, I want you to set a few goals. Write down what you want to accomplish. Be aware of or write down what will stand in your way, and that may even include yourself. Develop an action plan. These may be long-range goals, so break them down into short-range, academic, or personal goals. Academic goals can be broken down into study goals. Print them out and post them where you can see them. You may even want to carry them with you. We'll talk later in another module about perhaps setting alarms or alerts that go with these if we're using an electronic device. And then let them serve as a constant reminder. Now, I want to show you my personal goal system so that you can see what this looks like in reality. So these are my personal goal sheets. I use this sheet to establish my goals. I have one goal that I would write here, and then I break it down into its component parts. I have at least 5 possible components. It may have more, and that sometimes tell me that goal is too big for me to work with. I then take these tasks and break it down into what I call projects. Each project has a section, and then I can break that project down into smaller, more workable units. From those, I take these and put them on my daily plan of attack. So this essentially is a daily to-do list that's linked to my project list that's ultimately linked to my goals. These handouts will be available in a handout section of the module. I encourage you to maybe take a look at them. You might want to design some of your own. There's also several out there on the web that you could find to use, but these are my personal ones. So, we've got our goals. What's next? Let's see what we need to get started. Well, not surprising, the first thing we need in college is money. So I want you to find out where financial aid is at your school. When you go to financial aid, meet your resource person. Know who they are and where they're located. Their job is to help you find money, scholarships, loans, or grants for an education. And let me tell you, they love their job. Next, I want you to find Student Affairs. Typically, this is the office that manages daily student life, fun, sporting events, and even discipline job. Now, I want you to think for a moment, do you really need a job? Be aware of the time drain that results not only from working, but being tired as a result of working. Money can be important, but so is your study time. There is a career services on campus. They may have a line on jobs that fit with school schedules and then help you with career selection when your degree has been completed. What else do you need to get started? A schedule. How do you go about getting your class schedule? Do you attend an orientation meeting? Do you have to see an advisor? These are questions that may be answered by Student Affairs. We're going to talk more about scheduling in Module 3. Curriculum. Regardless of the degree that you plan to pursue, there's a curriculum plan on your campus for that degree. Get one. The ones at Bossier Parish Community College can be found on the BIPSI homepage. Use it to help you establish your long-term goals. Take a look and see what classes you may want to take during a summer session or what classes you don't want to take together. For example, do you really want to take chemistry and physics at the same time? I do want to alert you, this is a plan that's recommended by your institution. It's best if you try and follow it. Supplies. These are my favorite things. What do you absolutely need for class? Once you know what your schedule is, contact your instructors by phone or email. Ask what you need, starting with the textbook, or will an ebook suffice? Again, earlier is better. There's really no excuse for you not having your course materials. Ask the instructor about their lecture style. Do they lecture directly from the book? Do they use PowerPoint slides? This becomes important because you can match their lecture style to your learning style. Then ask any specific questions that you might have. Can you use a computer in class? Is it okay to bring an electronic tablet? What about phones? Can I use recording devices? There are so many questions to ask. Do you feel prepared? Let's do a quick check. Do you have a career goal in mind? Are you aware of your learning style? Do you have those goals in place? And all those little getting started things, have you checked on those, found financial aid, figured out whether or not you can get by with or without a job, you know what your schedule is, and you've got your supplies? Great, then let's get started.